After selling my last Renault Trafic, I thought I'd buy another one because I quite like a day van, and I got this one in trade off a guy near Edinburgh, and it's done 126,000 miles, and it's actually quite a clean van. The seats in it were really clean and there's no wear on them whatsoever. I just needed to give them a little clean. But the van did come with a couple of problems. The starter is really lazy. The battery was flat and it's got an oil leak underneath and a front wheel bearing to do. I've actually done the front wheel bearing already because it had to be done because it was really noisy and it had a wobbly wheel. And in the back it's actually quite clean. I've got my work stuff in it just now, but the timber panels are all very clean, and the doors will just need a sort of slight paint, but I'm going to insulate the whole thing. I'm going to insulate the roof. I'm going to take out this panel here and insulate the floor and put some sort of flooring on it. And as in my last van, I'm going to put the bed crossways in the back, and it's only really for either a single or a two person. And my other van was a long wheelbase, so you could get two people along the back here, but this will just be a single person and maybe a single person underneath. I've also got a seat matching the front to go in the back here. But on the whole, it's a very clean van, and I've got my reg on it already, but I'm quite pleased with it. And these vans are very reliable, and if they've got a service history on them, that's all the better. First job to do in the van is the starter. It's got a very lazy starter on it, and it's only got an 80 amp battery on it. The guy who sold it must have just put a cheap battery on it to get rid of it. So you'll hear the starter in a minute. It really has to be replaced, either reconditioned or replaced, and you'll hear what it sounds like when I try and start the thing. You can hear what that sounded like. It definitely needs replaced. But I got stuck in a Tesco petrol station the other day. It just wouldn't start, so I had to shove it out to the side, and somebody managed to come along with a set of jump leads and give me a start. That's the proper 90 amp Bosch battery fitted, and we'll hear what it sounds like. Now that's exactly the same as the low power battery, so that suggests that the starter's the problem. I'll run it here and I'll show you where it is. It's right down in there, and you just cannot get it, with everything in place on the front here. So you've got to remove the lights, the whole of the front panel here, the bumper. Everything's got to come off, but it's actually quite an easy job. There's actually a really good video online which I'm just going to put a link to. I'm not going to show you how to do this because this guy does it really well, and I'm just going to follow his instruction and get the whole lot off. One good tip I learned from watching the guy's video is that he always puts his screws back in the panels. Which is a great idea, because I'm always losing the damn things. Now we have it, everything's off, and to be honest, if I'd done this before, it would only have taken about 10-15 minutes, and now you get easy access, well I say easy, access to the starter motor, which is just in there. So I'm going to disconnect the battery now and try and get the starter out. That's the old one out. I'm not even going to test it. I mean, looking at the condition of it, it's not really worth sort of refurbing it. So I've just ordered a new one. Well, I've got a bit of a problem because UPS managed to budge up my delivery. They said that somebody had received it at the door, but it certainly wasn't my door. So what I've had to do, I've had to strip out my old starter, clean it out and put it back together, and I've just put it back in, and I'm going to try and start the van, make sure it's okay. Well, that one's absolutely fine. Must have put it together quite well, which I'm quite chuffed about. So I still want to put the new one in, but this one I'll do in the meantime because I really need to use the van this week, and I'll not be able to get another new one or a replacement for 2-3 days yet. So I'm going to put it all back together, and hopefully that starter will last out. Not 15 minutes after finishing it and starting it and putting it all back together, a kind lady knocked at the door, and this turned up. It was delivered 2 streets away to Riverdene instead of Riverside Road. So that's UPS for you. So I've come back out this morning, and it's not taken me 20 minutes to get this stripped down and the old starter out. I love working on this Vivaro, everything's really accessible. So we'll get the new one back in. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to do an oil, diesel and air filter change, which I've done in a previous video, and the fuel filter's in there. I'm going to put the oil back in through the dipstick because it's easier than putting it in through there. And also I lost a little bit of water, so I'll put a bit of antifreeze in after having to take the pipes off the EGR valve. And it's a typical Sunday here at the garage. I've got Glenn's car in as well, and he's getting 2 new belts on and a tensioner. But to get a belt off in the Audi, you've got to dismantle the whole of the front end. And this took way over an hour to do, and the belts are down in here, and to get the serpentine belt off you've got to take I think it's the power steering belt off as well. But this is really tight in here, so you've got to pull the whole of the front end back. What a job. Trafic's definitely easier. So now that the wheel bearing's fixed and the starter's fixed, I'm going to turn my attention to the cosmetics now. What I'm actually going to do is, and I do this quite a lot with my vehicles, is take a photograph of them, then I put it in my drawn package, and then I sort of put different styles and colours of alloy wheels in them, and I'll show you how to do that just now. So here we are at my workstation, and what I actually do here is I superimpose pictures of alloy wheels and graphics onto a photograph of the actual van. And the look I'm after is kind of similar to the Mark II Renault Sport, and that's a silver one, and I like this sort of stripe here, and I like the stripe up the back panel of the van here as well. The problem is that this is a Mark I, and there isn't a sort of line on the van there. So what I've actually done is I've kind of taken a hint of that line, and I'll probably fit it about there, and I've got a Renault Sport logo in the back, and the Renault Sport colours are actually black and yellow, so that's kind of the theme that I'm after. So I've got that stripe in here, and the van's actually going to have a side window in it, but I'm not that keen on it ending abruptly there, so I'll probably put a graphic at the back of the window, kind of at an angle like that, and it sort of curves round like this curves round at the bottom here. So I'm quite happy with those sort of graphics. And then with the wheels, these were the wheels that I had, the BMW wheels that I had, but I put those on the 1 Series, and I took these ones off, and I'm not sure if I like the silver. It looks clean, but I think I prefer them in black, so I just got a picture of them in black and I've superimposed them onto the van here. And I think on the whole the black wheels are the ones to go for, and I think that looks quite smart. So that's it designed out, and although I do graphics myself, I'm never that keen on having too many graphics on my vehicles. I like them a bit more subtle, and I do like a set of alloy wheels in a van. And the Renault Trafics are great because you can put any of the BMW wheels on with wobble bolts. And fortunately I had that set from the 1 Series, and when they're painted up black and I put the little Renault badge in the middle, they actually look like Renault alloys. So I'm quite pleased with that, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it and get the wheels sorted out and get them all on. These are the alloys that came with the 1 Series, and I think they're quite smart looking. They're also in quite good nick. So I'm just going to rub them down, and I think I'm going to paint them matte black and see what that looks like on the Trafic. Incidentally, the black spray I use, I get from Poundland. It only costs like a couple of quid as opposed to 7, 8, 9 quid elsewhere. And I've used it in quite a lot of rims now to great success, and it doesn't seem to chip or crack, so I'm quite pleased with it. That's the first time I've seen the back brakes on this van, and I think they need a bit of attention. The disc is pretty worn, but I'll give it a good clean up and probably buy new discs and pads. But that's not what I'm doing today. I'm going to get these wheels on. Well, that's the wheels on now, and I have to say that I really like them. I think the black, or matte black, or rather satin, I think kind of suits the van. And once I get the graphics on the side, I think it'll tie everything in together. And you'll notice how I've got chrome bolts. Unfortunately I couldn't get black ones at the time. I don't know whether to keep them or maybe spray them black. I might just spray them black. But I'm quite pleased with them. But the observant out there will notice that the tyres look a bit sort of low profile, which they are, and I'm going to change them, and I've already got a set of tyres here, and these are proper van tyres, and they're 225 55 by 17, and these will be proper heavy duty for the van, and they're actually quite heavy and quite substantial. So once I get the other two wheels done, as you can see I've still got the steel ones on there, I'll get the new tyres on and balanced and get them all in the van. Well, that's the day van project underway, and I've sorted out the mechanical issues, and I noticed that I've got the back brakes to do now as well, which I'll get that done before I start on the sort of cosmetic parts of it. There's one or two sort of stone chips and bumps on it which I'll get sorted and get painted. My normal work is quite quiet at the moment, so I might just kick on and get on with this van and get it done. I've got quite a few bits to buy for it, the insulation and the carpet and all that, and I've never done it before, so I'm just going to wing it and play it by ear. I watched one or two videos on how to do it, so I've got a fair idea, but I'll just have to wait until I get the thing gutted out and give it a go. So there'll probably be a few more videos coming along on this van very shortly, so thumbs up if you enjoy the video, please subscribe, there'll be lots more coming very soon.